So we're just walking to the Blue Mosque. This is Turkey. There's some huge, amazing mosques and basilicas and lots of really good food all around. It's a very vibrant kind of city. The people are friendly, very friendly. The sellers around, this is kind of the super touristy area that we're staying in, so the cafe owners and stuff are pretty pushy. So we're just walking in towards the Blue Mosque, which is this giant mosque over here. This is like a pretty large square, town square, with the Aya Sophia museum on one side and the Blue Mosque on the other side. Very, very cool place. So this video is a bit dark, but we're walking through the Basilica Cistern. We had to make a detour here because the Blue Mosque was in prayer time currently, so we've got to go back there later. But the Basilica Cistern was basically used to be a basilica back in the day, but it was in the 6th century they built this cistern. There's 336 of these massive columns in here. Actually, 1 or 2 of them are sat on the heads of sculptures of Medusa, which shows how much the Ottoman Empire cared about the artifacts of the Roman Empire. Not much at all is the answer. And yeah, so this cistern is usually full of water. There's currently got no water in it due to they're doing some renovation on it, but basically it's water that used to basically be the entire water source for Istanbul, and it comes from 19 kilometers away in the Belgrade forest, and it fills up all under here. Pretty serene environment. So, we're here in the Spice Bazaar now. It's a big market dedicated to spice and lollies, it looks like. But yeah, they have all different types of baklava, spice, lollies, cups. Yeah, Istanbul, it feels like another big city, like London or Rome or... got that kind of feel about it. It's very full of people bustling around. Turkish delight, so delicious. So we're inside the Blue Mosque, which we've been trying to come into for a few days, but kept turning up at prayer times. You've got to basically, to come in here, follow a little bit of a dress code. Like if you're a lady, you've got to have head covering. I'm not allowed to wear a cap or a hat. My shorts are just long enough to get in. This is the entrance over here. So we'll just follow the crowds around. There's one dome. I'm pretty sure there was another dome on the other side, so it's very intricate tiles and patterns. I can't remember why it's called the Blue Mosque at this point. Can you tell us why it's called the Blue Mosque?
Because the glass has in them, so when the light hits it.
There you go. That's why it's called the Blue Mosque. Blue glass. These pillars are massive. taps. There you go. There's a few domes, it looks like. It's the interior of the blue mosque. So we're inside, we're on the outside of the Aya Sophia, which is a big, huge museum in the center of Istanbul, right opposite the Blue Mosque. So that's what's on the other side of the massive city square. And we're about to head inside and have a look around. Should be interesting. So just some information on the Aya Sophia that I've learned so far is it was originally a monument in the 3rd century, a Roman monument. That was burnt down and then it was re-erected in the 4th century, burnt down again, and its current state that it's in now was actually created in the 5th century. It took only 6 years to build it to how it is now. It's 7 kilometers squared, the current building, and it was 1,000 master builders and 10,000 laborers to build it in that 6-year period. So it was put up pretty quickly, I reckon, in that time, comparative to the size and grandeur of the building. So basically this acted as a church for 1,000 years, from the year 400 and something until the year 1,400 and something. And in that 14th century is when it was conquered by an Ottoman army and became an Islamic mosque. And it was up until I think the 1930s or 20s it was used as a mosque. After that it became a museum, what it is still today. So it's been burnt down twice, it's been re-erected 3 times, it's been Catholic Christian for 1,000 years, and it's been Islamic mosque, and now look at the place. It's quite an amazing museum. Look at the size of it. Apparently there's a whole lot of mosaics that are still hidden under plaster in this place from years and years and years ago. It's I think they said 64-meter high dome as well. So it's pretty big. Quite an impressive feat of building for the time that it was built. Like the detail, I don't know if you can see in this video, but the detail in the arches and the gold on the top. Like there's just, in this old architectural style, obviously it takes a bit longer, but I don't know, well I never see things like this in modern architecture. Like I don't know why they don't use these older styles still. I guess people like clean, simple lines now, but traveling through like this last trip we've done, I really like the neo-Gothic style that was in all the Hungarian kind of parliament, and like that, it's that spiky kind of style that you see on like I guess not churches, but castles and Romanian castles and stuff like that, and cathedrals like in Ypres in Belgium, and Hungary, Budapest. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful building. So this is called the minbar, this area here, which is basically where Friday prayers were given. I did immediately read it as minibar, not minbar, but minbar. And just check out that chandelier, that central one, that's right from that top dome all the way down to that big one there. Must be quite heavy. Another interesting little spot here is this area, which is where the Roman emperors were when they're crowned, or Let me just double check this detail, but I'm probably misleading you.
I couldn't remember how the photo.
Place of coronation ceremony of the Eastern Roman emperors right here. Just saw a little kid playing a game and ran into the middle of it and was feeling pretty happy about himself as his parent was getting very unhappy that he was playing in the middle of the circle. It was quite funny. The kid was having the time of his life on that historical point. This is from the second story of the Aya Sophia. Lots of selfies going on. It's all good. Now this is a marble gate that used to separate the normal area of the church from of the mosque, from the meeting place of the emperor and the church members. It's just the private chambers. And there's some pretty interesting old mosaics that are still being uncovered, it looks like. And this is from the 13th century. That's Christ in the middle, the Baptist, John the Baptist on the right, and the Virgin Mary on the left. This mosaic's from the 11th century. It's basically commemorating some royals who gave money to the church. So they wanted to be commemorated within the church. This one was from the 12th century. There's the Virgin Mary in the middle, with a child on her arms, and Emperor John II on the left and his wife on the right. It's funny, like I was always personally interested in like history and myths and legends and all of that kind of stuff as well, but it's much more interesting when you actually come to a place and you've got these buildings and you can kind of see it as well to learn about it here. Every kind of city we go to, we tend to do a free walking tour. I'd recommend whenever you go anywhere, just Google free walking tours within that city or country. You basically tip the guide at the end what you think the tour is worth. So they're tip-based tours. They don't make any money other than that, but we learn so much about places. It's really good to do them at the very start of your stay there, so you can learn a lot about the culture and where everything is. They can tell you about where to eat food and what are the traditional drinks and food of that country or that area or region or city, and then they can give you ideas on transport and stuff like that. So yeah, free tours, free walking tours. You just Google it. Don't go to the advert generated ones at the top of Google. Go down, get the organic links, and you'll find a really good one. It's worked well for us. Yeah, so the Aya Sophia, very, very, very cool. So this is the outside view of the Aya Sophia. That's where we just were, inside there. The 7 square kilometre area. And yeah, this is exiting the Aya Sophia. You can see the blue mosque over the other side. As you come out. There you go, the blue mosque. We were in earlier this morning. Cool city, Istanbul.